Hi, so my Wi-Fi is not working. So what did I decide to do? I decided to talk about um free VST synthesizers that I don't see anybody talk about. So the first one that I want to go over is Alter Ego. Like most Plug products, it has MPE support, which is always something that I look for because the ability to pitch notes individually just like changes my life. So, yeah, that's kind of technical, but outside of that, Alter Ego is basically a Vocaloid clone. It's not very legible as far as words go.
Select your alter ego.
Like you'd have to mess with the wave rate and the phenome speed in order to get
Select your alter ego.
like to get words that sound natural. Sometimes lower sounds better, sometimes higher sounds better. Might depend on the song. But what makes Alter Ego powerful and not just keep in mind I haven't used Hatsune Miku much is but like it's a synthesizer, so you can change the amount of helium in the voice. You can change the fem factor, and like when you combine that with the helium. Now maybe a higher pitch might sound more feminine. Now this is supposed to be a male voice bank, however, it can make a lot of different voices with it. Now if I add a lot of breath, I find that it sounds pretty nice in my opinion. You could also change the impulse engine, but I find that most of them sound kind of tinny, so I don't ever use them. That could be kind of a cool sound, the square wave, but you know, the sound alone isn't that impressive, but if you pair it with some compression, perhaps like some OTT and a subtle reverb, these are just basic ones I use. Too much reverb there, but now it sounds like it's a pretty good voice. So I recommend it if you're really into those vocal synths. There's actually a lot of places where this can work well, you know, if you're creative with it. So that's Alter Ego. And Bones isn't the only voice, there's also other voice banks as well. You're also able to control modulation parameters and humanization, but I'm not going to go into that. But there's also Mary Arc. Like, Bones and Mary Arc are the two libraries, but I wouldn't say that you need much. Like, Mary Arc is very loud, but oh, okay, I need to turn on the yeah. So let me. I wonder if you could do the opposite. Like that kind of sounds like a dude. I don't know. Maybe. So Alter Ego is a pretty good synth. Bitbox next up. Now I don't know if Bitbox is a rompler or a sampler. I kind of don't care since all of these sounds I would categorize as synths. Like there's another one that kind of another two that kind of dwell on the rompler side of things, but you're still able to control them to a degree. So Bitbox, it's basically just 8-bit drums, but by far this is the best 8-bit drums that I've heard compared to like other paid libraries. So very punchy sounding. Let me see if I could get an oscilloscope to see how those wait. There we go. Yeah, pretty good waveforms there for like 8-bit. Now you're able to randomize the kits. And there's also like preset kits. So really good sounds there. They sound 8-bit, like, and you know they're really punchy. They like slap right through the mix. I just love Bitbox a lot. Now for most of these plugins, they're only in 32-bit. So if you're using Ableton, you'll have to get JBridger in order to use them. So I just wanted to add that. But the next one that I want to go over is Orion. Orion and Alter Ego, and I guess SQ8L are the main synthesizers here on this list. But what makes Orion so great for me is that it has that 70s, 80s early synthesizer sound, and also kind of a little bit of an earthbound kind of sound that it's kind of hard to that was kind of hard for me to find. Not that hard, since it only took me like an hour, but like those saw waves sound very, very nice to me. A lot nicer than a lot of other sounds that I have. And you can also get those crazy beeps out of it too. But that's not all that this like all the presets in here, they're very reminiscent of Yellow Magic Orchestra, if you've ever heard that band. Like, if you told me that was a synth from a Yellow Magic Orchestra song, I'd completely believe you. Beautiful sounds that very cheesy, but exactly what you want if you're looking for that 80s cheese sound. So, and speaking of 80s cheese, there's also SQ8L. Now I would say that Orion lends itself a little bit better to faster, goofier music, but for when it comes to SQ8L, it just has really good pads. Like, let me see if I could get one. Like the first preset, Voyager. Like you can just hear all those wobbles and all it just sounds luscious. These are really good presets. Like even with the non-pad ones, like I'm looking at like okay, let's try this. That's that has I want to say like a European kind of those kind of like early techno songs kind of feel. And the bells, oh my god. Those little vibratos, and it's just a very big, beautiful sound. I love this synth a lot, if you can't tell. Just so charming, yet still beautiful and classy. I love this synth. Then you add a little bit of reverb to it, and like I use Valhalla Vintage for about everything because it's the only reverb I bought, but yeah, just so pretty. And then this one's cheesy, but a little bit more on the 90s, 2000s side. DSK Ethereal Padz. Now, I would consider this more of a rompler. However, the when you're looking for synth sounds, right? You're not going to be also looking at rompler. So I'm just categorizing this with the other synthesizers. But the Ethereal Padz has 3 layers that you could add together: attack, decay, sustain, release, and then a little filter that you could also add on top of that. And some LFOs, but that's about as deep as it goes. And you could also route to cutoff, pan, level, pitch. But most of these sounds just fit perfectly for that 90s, 2000s jungle drum and bass, or like something you'd hear in an ambient track for a video game. So that's the first one, but there's a lot of different samples here. Let's listen to some of the full patches, though. Sorry that my piano playing is just basic, but very sparkly, glittery, you know. Like, come on, this synth can build a lot of good drum and bass tracks. So yeah, that's 5 underrated synthesizers I don't see people talk about a lot. Peace.